Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins trade rumors video. Not many days left until the trade deadline. Today we've got one more trade that I think would be a good addition to maybe the starting rotation if we wanted to go that route, or if we wanted to put him in the bullpen. I think that he is capable of doing that. As you saw in the title, it is Mike Minor. Now, I don't know where the Twins really stand with this guy. I know there's been other teams, obviously, along with a lot of other guys that the Twins have talked about, but I know there are other teams really involved in Mike Minor, and then I know there are teams that are not so much. The Twins, I don't really know where they fall, so we'll have to see, where they go with this guy in particular, but, he's a good guy to pick up. I really think that, and you wouldn't maybe see that from his stats, but I'll explain it here in a second. It's the 29th. It's the 29th of July, which means we have all of Monday to make trades, all of Tuesday to make trades, and then Wednesday until, 3 or 4 o'clock? So their time is running out, and, we got to make a trade. We got to make something else happen. I know a lot of the trades just wait until, tomorrow and Wednesday, so we'll see, but hopefully they pick up one of these guys that we've talked about. But let's go into his stats here really quickly, because he is definitely a guy who is kind of all over the place, but I think he could really help us. He's been good as of late, so let's look at it. So he started in 2010 with Atlanta and the Atlanta Braves. He was above average, I would say, for most of his Atlanta career. Going back to 2010, he was 3-2 with a 6 ERA. The ERA is not really good, so this is why I'm saying he's like average. His win-loss was positive, not that that really means anything, but his ERA was just a little bit high in almost all of these seasons. So his ERA was just about 6, but hey, this is his rookie season, right? He started 8 games. So he pitched 40 innings. You can't really do much off of this season. His hits per 9 were high. His walks per 9 were probably his average. Let's just skip that season entirely. Let's go to the next season, where again he didn't really start a lot. He started half the games at 15, but still had a 5-3 record, still had a 4 ERA, so that's not bad. 82 innings. He gave up 38 runs, struck out 77. I couldn't find the strikeouts for a second. At 30 batters, so not the greatest. His whip was really high. But then we get into the good seasons. This is where he starts to become really good. He wins 10 and 13 games in Atlanta, has an ERA of 4, and then has an ERA of 3. Pitches 200 innings in 2013, 181 strikeouts to 46 walks. That's decent. His FIP is 3.37, which was the lowest so far that he has had. That's really good. His whip is 1. Hits per 9 is 7.8, which is the second lowest to the season I was just talking about, 2012, or that I had mentioned, where he had a 11-win season. His home runs were down to 1 per 9, which again is his second lowest. His walks per 9 were the lowest at 2, and his strikeouts per 9 were 8, which are right about average, so that's okay. But now let's fast forward. So he had injuries. Didn't he have Tommy John? I don't remember if he had Tommy John or not, but he skipped 2015 and 2016 and came back in 2017 with the Royals. He did okay with the Royals. He again only pitched in 13 or 65 games, but 13 were like relief opportunities and save opportunities, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Pitched in 65 games. He finished 13, I guess. Is that what better? Is that what I'm trying to say here? Had 6 saves, 77 innings, 88 strikeouts to 22 walks. He was more of their closer. Had an ERA of 2.5, which is decent for a reliever there. A 2.6 FIP. That's good. But now, that you get what I'm saying here. Decent, bad-ish, but he gets better, okay? He gets better. And now with Texas, here's the thing. He's been with Texas for 2 years. And, really, he's had a rebirth, I think, because in the last 2 years, he's gotten 20 wins, 12 and then 8 this season. He was an all-star this season. His ERA was 4 last year, but it is a solid 3 This year, he has had 21 starts this year, 2 complete games, 1 shutout, 135 innings already, 136 strikeouts to 48 walks. Across the board, his numbers look pretty good. His FIP is a little high at 4.2. His WHIP is 1.1. His hits are 7.5. Home runs are 1.3. Walks are 3.1. And strikeouts are 9.1. So, it's really not bad, though. I mean, those are just solid numbers. And, again, he was an all-star. So, what I'm saying is, this guy is very, very similar to maybe a guy like Robbie Ray. But here's the important thing. I know that we all need lefties, right? We all are talking about how many lefties we need. This guy throws left-handed. Now, if we wanted to put him into the starting rotation, okay, we maybe bump Perez down. I don't know who else we'd bump down. Maybe trade somebody. I don't know. We've kind of talked about that before, where there's a lot of different options we want to go with if we want to get a starter. I honestly, I don't know if we will, but I think it would be smart to get a starter, a couple, maybe 2 more relievers, and an outfielder for the trade deadline here. But you know what? I think a starter could really do a lot, like this guy. But he has been in the bullpen before, and he did okay with Kansas City. So Kansas City was struggling at that time, right? I mean, they've struggled for years, but since their World Series run. But I mean, if we wanted to put him in the bullpen, he has done that before. And like I said, he's a very capable guy like Robbie Ray, who's not going to blow you away. He's not gonna give you every game being the best game he's ever thrown. He's gonna make some mistakes, but he's a guy that could really help us. Like I said, if you want to put him in the bullpen, if you want to put him as a starter, it doesn't really matter. You can put this guy almost anywhere, and he will help you. Now, another reason that I think we should go get him is it's the same thing as Martin Perez, right? I mean, Wes Johnson was looking at Martin Perez and said, hey, we could use you. You've got a cutter. Let's develop a cutter, whatever he needed to do. And Martin Perez became very, very solid at the beginning of the year. Well, if we do something like that with Mike Minor just because see, this is just speculation. I guess I'm not sure if this actually happened. But, Wes Johnson was probably in talks with the rest of their guys and be like, hey, can we maybe get somebody else? I'm sure he didn't just stop at Perez and be like, you know what, we're going to take Perez and we're not going to look at anybody else. Like, that would be dumb. So maybe he looked at Mike Minor and didn't see, as much as he could work with as he did Perez. But you know what? If we did bring him in, I definitely think that we could develop something or help him out. There's already that little chemistry there that you've seen from Wes Johnson and Perez being a teammate to Mike Minor. So there you go. That helps as well. Now, what do we have to do to trade for him? Here's the thing about Mike Minor. He is not the greatest pitcher, right? I don't think anybody would go out there and say, you know what, I want Mike Minor on my team if there are other options available. Thor, I know Stroman just got picked up yesterday by the Mets, but, Thor, Robbie Ray, I guess, is another option. There are a couple other starters that might be out there. And Mike Minor, he's a guy who I would say fits, maybe up there in that category. But I know that the Texas Rangers are struggling. Like, they have not, this year they've kind of rebuilt a little bit, but since then they have really done bad, and they want good prospects for him. Now, here's the thing. We're not going to give him, Royce Lewis. We're not going to give him anybody else who is, like, up there on our prospect list. But that's who I think they're going to want. So, is he worth it? No. But, if people and teams are desperate enough, they might go ahead and try, to give up a top-level prospect. Maybe not their top level, but you know what I'm saying? Like a top 15 maybe, top 10. So, that's what we saw with Stroman. I don't think Stroman was that good. Yes, he's good, don't get me wrong, but, he got 2 of the top 6 prospects for the Mets. So, it's basically kind of what Mike Minor is asking for. And I don't think the Twins want to bargain with that. So, you have 2 options. You either pay the price or you don't get him. Well, like I said, Mike Minor is a guy who is probably worth this, but he's asking for this, at least right now. And there's still a couple of days left. We'll see how desperate Texas is to trade him. But there have also been some talks, they're not out of it. They are, but, like, they're rebuilding, and if he's a guy that they can rebuild around, because what is he? He is 31, so he's just getting up there, but he's still got a couple of years left. And, you know, if he's a guy who they can rebuild around, they might not even trade him unless they get something like Stroman did in the Blue Jays, where they got two of the Mets' good prospects. So it'll be interesting, though. I do want to know what you guys think. You know, do you think that Mike Minor is the piece? He's a lefty. He could be a starter. He could be a reliever, kind of like Robbie Ray. But you know what? I want to leave it up to you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Again, I don't know what we'd really have to give up for him, because I think he thinks he's worth this, and, you know, he wants this. So I don't know. I think we'd have to give up, you know, maybe a top 10 prospect for him, pitching wise, of course, but maybe another lower level prospect for him. Probably not as much as Thor, but you know what? Is it worth it? That's the question. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more Twins news every day. And I'll see you tomorrow, because there's no game today. So I'll see you tomorrow for a new series and a new video. Peace out.